Welcome to Stanford University. I'm Dean Tiffany Steinwert, and on behalf of the entire community, I welcome you. As is our tradition at every university gathering, we begin by recognizing the land on which our campus stands. Stanford sits on the ancestral and unceded land of the Mwekma Ohlone tribe. This land was and continues to be of great importance to the Ohlone people. We recognize that every member of Stanford has and continues to benefit from the use and occupation of this land since the institution's founding in 1885. Consistent with our values of community and diversity, we have a responsibility to acknowledge and make visible the university's relationship to Native peoples. We gather this afternoon together from a distance. We confess this is not what we imagined entering grad school would look like. But in a year marked with ongoing crises, natural and of our own making, we are called to be and become more than we ever thought possible. Here at Stanford, whether 6 feet or a screen apart, our community is knit together through more than the space we share. We are bound by the community we cultivate, rooted and grounded in shared values and common purpose. Committed to diversity, equity, and integrity, we at Stanford seek to nurture the health and well-being of our campus, body, mind, and spirit, recognizing that this crucible of crisis in which we find ourselves requires a shared commitment to foster and sustain healthy relationships with one another. For at the end of the day, the sum total of who we are is not what we think or write or even produce, but who we are in and as a community. You see, Stanford is a place for each of us and all of us. As we embark on this year, let us go forth with the courage and conviction that is born of community. May we greet this new adventure with open hearts and outstretched arms, never losing faith in our collective power to create a world marked by peace, justice, and compassion beyond measure. We may be physically distant, but together, wherever we are Stanford. I'd like to now introduce Ken Hsu, Assistant Vice Provost and Director of the Graduate Life Office.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ken Hsu. I'm the Director of the Graduate Life Office. I'm here on behalf of all my colleagues in the Graduate Life Office to give you a huge welcome to Stanford and also to the new school year. This is a very exciting time of the year. I do miss going out and be able to shake hands and meet people, but we have to refocus our efforts at creating orientation programs in a virtual format, and also reimagined ways for you to stay engaged with those programs, as ways for you to connect with each other and meet people virtually in this unique time we all live in. But I hope you realize this is only a beginning. Orientation is only a beginning of programs that will be offered throughout fall quarter and the school year. And the program will be aimed to get you to do 3 important things, I think, in addition to study, that's important for thriving in graduate school. And these 3 things are getting informed. Please get yourself as informed as you can about relevant policies, resources, different parts of campus that can be relevant or make your life better and studies better here at Stanford. So please get yourself as informed as possible. 2, please find ways to get involved outside of your schoolwork. We'll be offering activities, there'll be student organizations. Please offer yourself ways to get engaged in doing something that can hope be a relief from the stresses of school and also help maybe providing some perspective for your studies here. And thirdly, oftentimes this is a challenge for many graduate students. Please get help when you need it. You know, graduate school is a wonderful time, a great experience, but oftentimes life can throw challenges and obstacles in our way. And we're here. There's a lot of resources on campus to be helpful to you. And but when you're not sure, our office, the Graduate Life Office, is no more than a phone call or email away for us to get you the information or activities to get involved in, or ways for you to be receiving support and help when you need it. So please stay in touch with us. Again, we're very humbled you have chosen Stanford for your graduate studies, and we're very excited to be on this journey with you, and have a great start to your studies and your career here. Now, with great honor and pleasure, I want to introduce President Tessier-Lavigne of Stanford University.
Well, thank you, Ken, and good afternoon. I'm so pleased to welcome all of you to Stanford today, whether you're on campus or beginning your studies remotely. I know this isn't the way you expected to start your graduate school careers. In a normal year, we'd be gathered for this welcome on campus, toasting to the beginning of your time at Stanford. But even if we can only gather virtually, I'm glad that we have this opportunity, before your studies are in full swing, to take a breath and anticipate the year ahead. I remember my own first days of graduate school. I was filled with anticipation about the future and eager to start focused work in my chosen field, neurophysiology. So I can relate to how excited you must be feeling as you begin this new chapter of your lives and your careers. But this is also an extraordinary and difficult time. This academic year will be unlike any other. I know there have been questions and uncertainty about how things will go this fall. We're constantly reviewing our policies, along with state and county guidelines. Our goal is to balance the health and safety of our community with our support for your academic, personal, and professional progress. These circumstances are new for all of us, and we're all learning as we go. But most importantly, I want you to know that we are all in this together, and we are working as a Stanford community to meet this public health challenge. I hope you'll continue to ask questions and offer your feedback throughout this fall quarter. Now, one of the things that's always exciting about our graduate student classes is how geographically diverse they are. This year, we welcome more than 2,200 new graduate students. More than a quarter of you are international students. You represent 77 countries and 45 US states, plus Washington, DC, and Puerto Rico. And you're enrolled in all 7 Stanford schools, and you're studying everything from comparative literature to bioengineering. To our international students, when you're living on campus, whether you're living on campus or joining us from afar this quarter, we are delighted you're here. I know that this moment presents additional challenges to you, and I hope that you'll call on support from the university when you need it. The Bechtel International Center can assist you if you face difficulties with visa status or other issues related to being an international student. Please call on us. One of the things I remember most strongly about starting graduate school was the feeling of opportunity. Everything seemed possible. I couldn't wait to immerse myself in my studies and to get to know the colleagues and peers who were as passionate about my field as I was. At Stanford, you're joining a community of students, faculty, and scholars who share your enthusiasm and your curiosity. You'll meet peers and mentors who will challenge your thinking and help broaden your horizons. This is a place that's designed to think boldly, to solve hard problems. Jane Stanford, our co-founder, set the tone for us in 1903 when she said, "Let us not be afraid to outgrow old thoughts and ways and dare to think on new lines." That's still how we approach the world today. Stanford students and scholars are taking on truly big problems and big questions on a global scale, in human health, in cybersecurity, in understanding the human condition, and in countless other fields. One way they're working together to tackle these problems is through interdisciplinary collaboration across a number of fields. These collaborations are creating an amazing array of cutting-edge opportunities for our students. Throughout your time here, you'll have the opportunity to collaborate with students and scholars in other departments as you explore the big questions. Much of the future of scholarship is at the intersection of disciplines. This is the type of research that can lead to big breakthroughs. And we're so excited for all of you to be a part of it. Our goal here is to help you advance in your personal and professional development and prepare you for rewarding careers. We want to see you thrive at Stanford, and we're here to support you. There are countless people here at the university who are dedicated to helping you settle in and make the most of your time at Stanford. Many of them are here today. I want to thank the Grad Life Office, the Graduate Student Council, and VPGE for organizing new grad student orientation and for doing everything they can to make your transition to Stanford a smooth one, even in this challenging time. Best of luck to you as you begin your graduate studies, and welcome to Stanford.
I believe that there will be lessons from these unusual times that will serve you well in the future. While at Stanford and beyond, you will no doubt find yourselves in leadership positions where you will be called upon to respond to the next unprecedented and even unforeseen challenge. The lessons imparted to you at Stanford will serve you well in this regard, just as they did for me.
Being at Stanford during the heydays of early 1990s, up until when we started Yahoo, Stanford was a center of robust discussion. And that time it was coming off of an economic recession in the early 1990s. I didn't find a job I wanted to do, and that's part of the reason I went to a graduate program. But also I think it really sown the seeds of innovation. So a lot of people may say, well, we have this current environment where the pandemic is really wreaking havoc. I would think this is a fabulous time to engage in Stanford, to take advantage of the resources that are here. Some of the most important, some of the most interesting, some of the most daring, some of the most innovative things that I think we will see in the next couple of decades will take place right now. And we've seen this over and over again. And those all come from students like yourselves that are going to spend this time finding your own identity, finding what you want to do, who you want to be, and how to apply yourself in the most rigorous but also the high potential way possible.
As somebody who is trained to be a scholar, you have a range of choices of how you're going to impact the economy, how you're going to deal with issues like the pandemic, how the matters of racial justice that are so prominent right now. As you do this, I urge you to seek not only kindred spirits, but people who sometimes will disagree with you, but I hope that you'll also realize that Stanford itself needs you, and you can help make it better. So I invite you to be part of the process of making the university a better place, a more just place, a more thoughtful place. So speak up, talk to people who are in charge, think about the conversations you can have, make requests, share ideas, and make the place as strong and as thoughtful as you can. Much of what makes the place so special is what will come from its connection with you.
I will always remember the faculty and mentors who supported me and the opportunity I had to grow and develop. Being part of the Stanford community comes with immense privilege and even greater responsibility. You have the ability to impact our world, what we are seeing, experiencing, and what folks are forecasting for our future. Being part of Stanford also means that you have joined a community that will be with you throughout your professional or academic career. The ties are deep, meaningful, and lasting. And you are bringing your voice to this community and contributing your unique talents and your lived experiences and voices and stories. And with that, I implore you to never stay quiet, to always make your voices heard, and to always stand up and advocate for those who cannot.
I remember my first day. I was nervous and excited. I was beginning a journey that would, in many ways, change my life forever. I met brilliant professors and fellow graduate students who not only would enhance, in so many ways, my understanding of what I was studying, but give me the critical facilities with which to understand and make decisions about the broader issues in my life in the world. And equally important, I brought my tribe of American Indian people, the Federated Indians of Greater Rancheria, together, and we formed and built one of the largest, most successful Indian casinos in this country, where we not only took care of and enhanced the well-being of our tribal citizens, donating to date tens of millions of dollars to the causes of social justice and environmental stewardship.
Quite simply, I wouldn't have become an astronaut nor director of Johnson Space Center without my Stanford graduate education. It wasn't just the knowledge gained and the experience of conducting research. It was the energy and enthusiasm of the people I interacted with, along with the history of alumni who had benefited humanity. And the fact that Sally Ride, a Stanford grad, flew in space while I was in graduate school helped convince me that I had nothing to lose by applying to NASA. Make the most of your Stanford experience in whatever form it comes.
My graduate experience delivered on all objectives and frankly continues to kind of surprise and delight me along the way. But now that I look back almost 2 decades, I've learned that your relationship with Stanford never really ends. It simply evolves and grows and matures with you through those relationships and your lifelong desire to learn and grow. The lasting impact of my graduate experience are memories that last a lifetime, lifelong desire to learn, and lifelong friends. So my recommendation to you is to not waste a moment, to go deep, explore and chart your future. Stanford will open more doors than you can imagine. It has for me. So think big. You are the future leaders that will change this world for the better. And in these uncertain times, we're going to need your brilliance more than ever.
Unless your area of research is related to pandemics, it's unlikely you could have anticipated even the possibility that this would be the backdrop of your graduate education. Even so, I have no doubt that the academic year ahead can be one of discovery, insight, and progress. Whether you are on campus or thousands of miles away, you have a chance to make the most of your Stanford experience. And perhaps our trying times will prompt new thinking or innovation that can be applied to your field or to your mindset. Magic happens at the intersection of disciplines, and I credit much of what I've done in my life to my Stanford journey and the interdisciplinary ethos that Stanford is known for. Stanford is so much more than a place, so whatever changes you may be adapting to now, know that you are joining a lifelong community that will outlast the boundaries of your graduate education and will serve you well into the future.
Graduate school, I have to say, for me, was probably the most important life-changing experience I've ever enjoyed. I didn't realize what I was going to get into. When I came out of Stanford Business School, I was clearly more knowledgeable about so many different things, life and in business. I was more confident. And I was more passionate about what I wanted to do in life. Those 2 years you've got coming up, it's going to be the most remarkable things you'll look back upon, and as you move on through your career and make great contributions to our society. Good luck, and I really look forward to having you become real important citizens in the future. Thank you.
Best wishes. Please be safe and healthy.
Congratulations and enjoy some of the best days of your life.
Welcome, and my very best to you.
Welcome to Stanford.
Yate Shedena Hasinisle, Adona Nishlinige Dobeshit, Honeda, Natlane, Amskapipakane, Nahoka Oste, Keda Ui, Nige Bashishin, Will Paisley and Nishye. Hello, my name is Will Paisley, and I belong to the Navajo and Blackfeet Nations, an American Indian Two-Spirit. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Graduate Student Council alongside Kari Barclay. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to Stanford. I'm a co-terminal master's student in the Policy Organization and Leadership Studies program through the Graduate School of Education. I graduated from Stanford this spring for undergrad, and I'm excited to continue my Stanford career through this graduate program and to continue to advocate for student needs as yourself through the Graduate Student Council. Stanford has been so much more than just a university for me. It is a home. And despite the current circumstances, I'm certain that you can find that same feeling as we move throughout this year and onward. For context, the Graduate Student Council is a representative body for graduate students under our student government, the Associated Students of Stanford University, otherwise known as the ASSU. We have representatives from each graduate school and serve 3 main purposes: funding, social life, and advocacy. As we enter this unprecedented year, we at the Graduate Student Council will strive to best represent your needs and interests. In these incredibly challenging times, I encourage you to support each other and take advantage of all the opportunities available to find community as we navigate this digital world together. Know that we are here to support you and care about you very deeply. Please check out our website, this is the plug, assu.stanford.edu for more information and our meeting minutes to see what we've been up to this summer. And we meet every week on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time and on Zoom, and you can attend our meetings that are open to the public. You can email me and my co-chair at gsc-chair@assu.stanford.edu to get in touch with any questions or concerns. We could not be more excited to welcome you to the Stanford family. We are here to support you and weather this storm together. Let's move forward together as a community. And now it is my honor and pleasure to introduce the Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Postdoctoral Affairs, Stacey Bent.
Thank you, and thank you, Mark, for hosting this inspiring welcome. I'd also like to thank Ken Hsu and the staff and students of the Graduate Life Office for leading this year's new graduate student orientation, and to our alumni and students who have shared video messages today. I want to echo Mark's warm welcome. We are so glad you've chosen Stanford for your graduate studies. And more importantly, I am honored to welcome you. Despite the unprecedented circumstances of this gathering, your presence online, as well as physically for those of you who are with us here in person, fills me with inspiration, hope, and a good deal of joy. I remember being in your shoes as a beginning graduate student at Stanford in chemistry, and mixed feelings of excitement and some trepidation that I felt. And I suspect that many of you share this experience with me now. Although many years have passed between my experience and your own, the university shares much in common between then and now. In particular, the university community has a strong commitment to pursuing and advancing knowledge, as well as cultivating personal and professional skills and expertise that will enable us to make fundamental and potentially transformative contributions to our communities and to the larger society. I, as well as the entire Office of the Vice Provost of Graduate Education, are proud to support you on this particular journey. I also want to acknowledge that this is an unusual time and it poses unprecedented challenges related to the pandemic and the resulting suffering and economic distress, as well as domestically a reckoning with systemic anti-Black racism and political polarization. The challenges faced by the globe and this nation will not be met overnight. Even more urgently than at any other time in recent history, our society requires experts and future leaders such as yourselves who can envision new pathways forward in the context of uncertainty and change. And I believe you've come to just the right place to develop the skills, knowledge, and expertise to become the leaders that we need. Let me tell you a little bit of why. The Stanford community that you join is distinctive. While we're rightly renowned for our innovative and entrepreneurial spirit, Stanford is also defined by our founding purpose to make a positive difference in society and the world. The guiding vision of Stanford's founders of a university that would promote public welfare and exercise influence in behalf of humanity and civilization continues to animate the university today. This distinct purpose is further enhanced by our long-term plans to strengthen our role as a purposeful university that, for example, supports translational research to address society's most pressing problems in areas as wide-ranging as healthcare, artificial intelligence, climate change and sustainability, the future of democracy, and many other areas. The close proximity of our 7 schools of graduate education and low barriers for exploration and collaboration across them provide unique opportunities for graduate students to prepare to make a difference. As a result of this environment, you have an unparalleled opportunity to deeply explore and collaborate on complex problems at the borders of and between disciplines. And finally, our commitment to making a difference is enriched by your contributions to this community. Your life experience, intellectual passions, and future aspirations matter to us. Our community, our teaching, our research, our university are all enriched by what each of you brings to campus. The Stanford graduate experience is built on relationships and it's characterized by connectivity and collaboration. We know that our students, as well as faculty and staff, do their best and most creative work and problem solving in community with others. Scholarly work at the university requires learning the skills of working across boundaries, collaboration, working effectively in teams, and working together across difference. Thus, we encourage you to seek opportunities to engage with your fellow graduate students virtually for now and in other physically but not socially distant ways. We encourage you to join with your peers and our faculty to create community that will sustain you through your graduate program. I hope graduate school will be one of the best times of your life, that you'll look back on your Stanford years as ones of growth and excitement, full of new friends as well as new ideas. I know from my own experience that at times graduate school will challenge you. It is meant to challenge you intellectually as you pursue your interests and passions more deeply. Those challenges are essential to your growth as a scholar and a professional. And you may face challenges socially and personally as you explore new and uncertain territory, perhaps far from home or your support network. Struggling periodically, encountering difficulty, or feeling unsure of yourself or your direction, these are normal things to experience at different times in graduate school. Everyone goes through times of struggle or uncertainty at some point. I certainly had my share of struggles and self-doubt as a graduate student. I wondered whether I would ever make it as an experimental scientist, whether I had the talent for it. It seemed like everyone around me already knew what they were doing. I even wondered if I would ever get a single one of my experiments to work. But in the end, I persevered and succeeded with the help of many, including great classmates and friends, and you will too. My office, the Office of Vice Provost for Graduate Education, supports all 9,400 graduate students at Stanford. We collaborate across campus and we complement what is offered in your department, your program, or school. We oversee graduate policy. We problem solve with you and your faculty advisors. We provide fellowships and funding for student groups. We strive to increase diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in the graduate community, and we support professional development and interdisciplinary learning. I want you to know that the VPGE team and the Graduate Life Office team are here to support you, as are staff and faculty in your departments, programs, or schools, and in many other offices around campus. So please reach out for help and guidance, and reach out to help your fellow students when you know they are struggling. So again, we are really glad that you've chosen Stanford to pursue your graduate studies, and I am delighted to welcome you to the farm. I look forward to getting to know many of you through student leadership, BPGE, or other campus events, and in the many ways that you engage with the campus community.
Obviously, with the pandemic, this is not an ideal time to be pursuing a PhD, one might think. But on the other hand, it actually might be a great time to pursue a PhD because the world is shifting and we are at the verge of a major change in how society is working. And so in some ways, of course, this is a really challenging time to pursue a PhD, but it's also kind of exciting if you want to be in a place where that change is sort of generated and then rippling from. Stanford and the Bay Area is a great place to do that.
While you're here, think about what you want to contribute to the campus community, and then also what kind of lasting impact you want to make. So when I came here, I was able to create my own workshop series. I was able to get all of these resources about community engaged research, and I was able to just connect to a larger network of people that care about social change, that really grounded me here. Another piece of advice I would give you is to always remember why you came here, all of the hard work you put into being able to be here, and just like expressing gratitude and giving back and not ever disconnecting yourself from your purpose.
Try to make connections with students, especially students that have been here. Students that can give you advice on how to maybe progress through your program, students that have maybe shared similar experiences to you, and students that haven't as well, because that's how we really broaden our horizons and our own perspectives. Try to make those connections as best as you can. For me, the students, my cohort, my colleagues, they have been essential to, empathizing with me during the tough times and celebrating during the good times. And so I hope you're able to find just a little bit of that if you can, because even just a little bit of it is extremely powerful.
I think we share that we're dedicated, we're hardworking, and that we care about the world around us. All of those things really bring us here to Stanford. I think what sustained me throughout these 6 years has really been a compilation of my family, my friends, and the different community resources and programs that are here at Stanford. The Advanced Program, El Centro Community Center for Chicanx, Latinx people, Q Spot for LGBTQ plus people, and I'd also say BioAIMS, and that's really been able to make me feel like I belong at a place like Stanford and really question when there are things that are not working, why it's not working, and what we could do to improve it for other people.
With so much going on in the world, it can feel like research isn't necessarily the place to take action, but in so many ways, the actions that are taken on our campus reverberate. And when we think about the international student body, the fact that students at Stanford are from all parts of the United States as well, the impacts we can make here really can influence other colleges and university and hopefully society writ large.
A lot of the people that I know and that I work with and that I love to be around, this value of sort of common respect and common value that everybody in the community matters is really important, especially in these times when there are so many challenges and everything is virtual. And whether that's communities of faith or student groups or my department or low-income and diversity communities or whatever circle I find myself in, that value of common respect has been really important in keeping me grounded and reminding me that we're in this together. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not expected to know everything. Sometimes what people tell you isn't always right, and it's your responsibility and your job to ask questions, to be vulnerable, to be open, to seek answers, and to not be afraid of that. It can be intimidating sometimes, but that's part of where most of the learning and most of the change happens, is when we're not afraid to ask questions.
All throughout my time here at Stanford, one thing which has remained constant is my support and peer group of all the amazing people from all around the world over here. They help me, they support me in my own work, they even care for me. They get me a boba drink whenever I'm feeling sad or lonely. But they also challenge some of the assumptions that I came here with even before coming to Stanford, which has definitely helped me broaden my worldview and think about the same problems with a different eye.
Time flies, but it's also really important to make time for yourself, especially now during everything that's happening in our world. It's really important to try to carve out time for yourself and understand what makes you happy, understand what gives you energy at times when you feel really drained. You're going to be getting a lot of information and you're going to be meeting a lot of different people, but remember that a relationship with yourself is almost as important as any other relationship you'll build here, especially when things are turbulent.
I am a first-generation immigrant, husband, and a father. So I have many important obligations outside of the school. And especially since the pandemic, things have been very challenging for me and my family. But the school continues to offer one of the best education in many interesting and new formats. And the school also goes well beyond to help me and my family to stay safe and also improve. So I'm very confident that no matter what happens from now on, I believe that Stanford will be there for me and my family, and also Stanford will be there for you. So I hope you feel confident and safe and empowered to be in this Team Stanford.